Hey friends, Catherine with Graceful Table. Hope you are well today. We are going to do a berries and cream French toast bake, and as always, there's options and choices. So this one is one that's awesome to make day before. Put it in the fridge, bake. It's also freezer friendly, so you can freeze this, take it out day before, bake it, and then I'm gonna choose to do this in a 9 by 13, but if you wanted to make this individual size, you absolutely could. So something like a large muffin pan, even a small muffin pan would work. I like the larger ones better just because my people eat more than the small muffins these days. So those are a great option, but you can use any freezer safe pan, and I am actually gonna go ahead and use this disposable one. Why? Because number one, they're not that expensive, especially if you buy them in bulk. And number two, this helps on cooking day so much. I hate dishes, dirty dishes. I don't like dirty dishes. And so anytime I can make something that is so easy for cleanup, that for me is just as good of a win, as big of a win as, having the meal prep. So I'm choosing to go with that. These freeze perfectly. I do recommend if you're gonna freeze these, you can buy the tops that come with. Even if you're gonna use those though, put a layer of foil and then that lid, or do 2 layers of foil just to make sure it's really airtight, in the freezer. So we're gonna get going. This one is really, really quick to put together, but so the first thing we're doing is, this is the bread. And guys, this bread, brioche, it's a French bread. It's a little bit more expensive than your average bread, but I promise you, it is so good. So it's thicker. You can see it's definitely more dense than a regular bread, but I love the way it comes out with French toast, and I think you will as well. So I'm gonna tip you down here, and all I've started to do, and continuing to do, is to just cut this into what I'm gonna call cubes. They're flat, but you get the point. I also will share with you guys this recipe, which I will share in the comments, so make sure to check that out. This was on my February menu, and also on my kids class menu. So even kids are loving this one, and making this with a little bit of guidance completely on their own. So that's a huge mom win there. Okay, so here is our bread. It looks full. It is, but after we put our mix on it, it'll come down. Next part is berries. Okay, and I just chose, this is another awesome, we had berries left over from some other things, and so I'm choosing to just pick a mix. But you choose what you would like, right? Choose blueberries, choose blackberries, choose raspberries. You could do strawberries, any kind of berries, but even with this, the bread is sweeter than a normal bread. So I do find you don't need as much of the other ingredients to kind of up that sweetness factor. And then the last thing we're gonna add before we do our mix is cream cheese. So berries and cream, okay, you're getting it now. And we're just gonna basically do this the same. Everything kind of gets cubed. I like to just cut right on here and just pull that. This is actually not a knife, it is a little spreader. I love these things. We have a number of them, but it doesn't have any serration on it at all, which makes it really easy to cut through cream cheese. So this gets a tiny bit messy here, but you're gonna just basically take your cubes, spread them out over your pan. Okay, so when I make this, I will go back and mix just slightly one time. Okay, so there's the downside of this. Let me grab my red real quick. Okay, and then we're just doing our mix. So obviously French toast needs a mix. And so here we have got a bunch of eggs. There's some milk in here, and I've got a little bit of cinnamon, but here's my well, not so secret ingredient, because I'm telling you right now, an orange, okay? So I am gonna go ahead and zest this orange and juice it. Sounds kind of weird, but I promise you, I put this in all of my French toast mixes and it really is delightful. It's not strong and overpowering. Okay, so it doesn't have to be perfect. And then I'm just gonna grab a knife here. Some of that zest is stuck there, so we're gonna not waste that. Okay, and then this little zester and juicer is so nice because you just switch out the top and then you just go ahead and juice away. You could use like a pressed juicer on this, especially if you have a smaller orange. And so I usually don't use like a massive orange on this. If you are going to, I would just maybe not zest the entire thing around, just kind of play with that recipe. So there we go. We have juice and zest. Okay, and then we're gonna put it in our bowl with the mix. Okay, obviously whisk this up. Make sure your eggs get broken. So this one is also, I will say, another great one to make day of, or, you know, for next day, and then make another one. Make two at the same time if you're already doing all this. Throw one in your freezer. Makes it super easy. Or if you want to do the muffin tins like we talked about, I would mix all of this like in a similar bowl, but just a massive bowl. Mix it all, let it sit for a little bit, then bake it. You could take it out of the muffin tins and then have it ready for really fast and easy breakfast on the go. Okay, so that's it, guys. This is so simple. Recipes in the comments again. And I missed one egg yolk there, or two. Okay, I think we've got them all now. Okay, so that's it. Okay, and then you're just gonna pour. Missed, look at that. Look at how easily that is solved. Okay, so here's what I am going to do. This is done, okay? If you wanted at this point, you could absolutely foil freeze. I am gonna let it sit for just a little bit. And then what I will do is just kind of push it down, mix it a little bit, because what you'll see here, right, there's some bread that didn't quite get soaked. There's plenty of mix to go around. It just takes a little bit to soak into this bread. So I'm gonna let this sit for about 5 minutes. I'll just kind of push this down, slide it around, and then at that point I will double foil. And don't forget, I always like to include recipes either between the foil or you could tape this one on the top, just so you have it. You know exactly what's in there. There's no mystery freezer meals. Those are fun. And then you're ready to go. So this is it. Check the pictures at the end. I'll show you the finished product, also the baked product, but this is amazing. Throw a little bit of syrup on this, maybe do some powdered sugar, whatever. You can dress this up so easily, but it's so easy. And then just also gets a lot of those whole grains, like, right, the good bread stuff in our kids' bellies in the mornings, which helps them make it to lunchtime. So we'll see you later.